Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to the start of a new Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. This series is going to be a 3-player free-for-all, where it's going to be myself and 2 AI opponents. Let's get to the game setup. Now, as you can see here, the AI are going to be set to Emperor difficulty, which is the highest difficulty setting possible. We're going to be playing on a small map size. Now, it does say that a small map is recommended for 2 players, but I think it'll be kind of fun trying to squeeze 3 players in, and hopefully we'll get some really good chaos out of that, maybe in the early game too, where it'll sort of force some early game engagement. We're also going to have the map type set to land, and the game flow is going to be set to normal. Let's take a quick peek at the advanced settings. Now, I'll just point out the things that are going to be sort of different from the default here. So our starting town is going to be an outpost. The starting distance will be set to far, although quite frankly, I'm not sure how much of a difference that's going to make given the very small map size. But in any case, this at least makes it so we're not, starting right next to our opponent effectively, or either of our opponents, I should say. And then our cities here is going to be set to few. And the reason for this is that I want there to be fewer neutral cities out on the map, and the reason for this is that I actually want to kind of force myself to have to use settlers to settle some of my own cities, as that's something I think I need more practice doing. So I'm going to try to kind of artificially create a situation whereby I need to use more settlers. So that's my hope there, but we'll see if that ends up happening or not. Everything else here is set to average, as you can see. Geography is going to be default here. And then importantly, we're going to have the surface and the underground both enabled. And although you don't see it here, there is actually a third area that's going to be enabled, and that is the Shadow Realm. The Shadow Realm is added by the Shadow Realm Expansion mod pack that I do have installed. I also have the Wasteland Expansion, which is actually created by the same group behind the Shadow Realm Expansion. And then new to this playthrough series and unique from all of my previous playthrough series, I've now installed Chivalrous Intentions, which is a mod that I have heard a lot of very good things about, and it's been suggested to me by multiple different individuals, and I'm very excited to try it out. So we're going to be, like I said, using all these different mods. If you're interested in any of the mods I'm using in this series or any of my previous series, please check the video description, as that's where I list them. And as I said, Chivalrous Intentions adds a ton of new content, so I'm very excited to try it out. Okay, so let's get to our setup here. We are going to enable teams, and as I said, it's going to be a free-for-all with each person on their own team. So here's me, and then, of course, the 2 Emperor AI that'll each be on their own team. Again, changing it up a little bit from previous series, we are going to have a Seals Victory enabled, and we're going to start here with 24 Seal charges. I really wasn't sure exactly how many to set for this, so I kind of just went with 24. Seemed like a good number. We're going to have classic turns enabled here, as always. We're going to customize our leader, but we're going to leave the AI opponents to be basically a mystery until we encounter them. I think that's actually more fun that way. And we'll take a quick peek here at the advanced rules. So all the settings on the right side here are enabled. Game speed is normal. Starting resource is standard. Starting skills will be set to few. Heroes won't have resurgence. Defender strength is going to be normal. Cosmic happenings medium. We're going to allow for 4 heroes and a max hero level of 30. And that's going to do it for the advanced rules there. Alright, so let's move on and select our leader. So as you may have guessed from the title of the video, I'm going to be playing as a High Elf Arch Druid. And in particular, I'm going to be playing as Tauron of the Trees. Now, you can see here that we're going to be using the Cosmos Specialization. So this is a new specialization that is added by the Chivalrous Intentions pack. And you can see here, Cosmos controls all elements of magic and supplements the holder with magical banks of energy, enchanted weaponry, drainage of rival power, and the ability to control nodes. And also, cities gain an additional 50 mana capacity, I think that is. So I'm very excited to try this one out. I think it's going to pair well with an Arch Druid. And the reason in particular that I've chosen to play as an Arch Druid for this series is that I felt like when I did my previous Arch Druid playthrough, where I was a Dwarven Arch Druid, I really didn't. I felt like I really didn't kind of use the class to its full potential. I think there were a lot of missed opportunities in that series. So I'm hoping that if I kind of play it again, I can maybe improve my performance and apply some of the things I learned in that previous series. Because again, Druid is a class I really didn't have a ton of experience playing. So I'm really looking forward to this. And of course, the High Elf race pairs very nicely with the Druid. And of course, there's a few reasons for this. So if we look here, you can see that as High Elves, we have +1 physical range strength and +1 shock range strength. So that will obviously pair very nicely with the initial starting unit that we get, or one of the initial starting units we get as a Druid, the Hunter class, which will gain the benefit of that extra range strength, as well as, I believe it gets effectively the no ranged penalty, just like Elven Longbowmen. So that'll be really good. And of course, the one thing here to note when we're elves is that we have that reduced population growth. So that's why I'm bringing Expander as a way to sort of offset that lack of growth. In addition here, I'm bringing Wild Magic Adept, as there are some pretty useful skills that come along with, or spells, I should say, that come along with Wild Magic Adept. There's one that lets you swap unit places with your enemy, which is pretty cool. And then there's also a few others there that I think will be quite effective, as well as a summoning ability, which can summon a lesser elemental unit, which has the potential to evolve as well. So that's quite exciting. And of course, as a Druid, we're going to be summoning a large number of units. So that's also why I wanted to pick Cosmos to help bring in some additional, hopefully some additional mana resources. In any case, though, this is kind of going to be the setup. So I'm looking forward to this one, and I think it's time to start it up. All right. So here we go. Tauron of the Trees, High Elf Arch Druid. Your rise to power begins. Okay, so here we are. We have our throne city of Nundioth. And let's take a look at what we started the game with here. So we have Tauron himself, and then we have a High Elf Avenger. This is a new unit that I believe is added by Chivalrous Intentions. You'll probably hear me saying that quite a bit as we go through this. Now, again, I should mention that I really haven't played around with Chivalrous Intentions much, other than just to kind of start a game quickly to make sure that all the mods were sort of compatible and would work together. And I didn't have any problems so far. Again, sort of knock on wood. We may end up having some issues, but I hope not. So again, I'm very unfamiliar with a lot of these new units, so I'm going to take my time going through them and try to highlight some of them for you, and I hope that doesn't get too boring. So you can see here we have the High Elf Avenger, kind of a neat little, they've got sort of the more kind of Egyptian-styled headgear there, the Tigran headgear, which is cool. They're considered an armored unit, obviously an archer. They have Dwarf, Human, Goblin, and Orc Slayer. And other than that, well, they do have Shoot Longbow, which does have no long-range damage penalty. So these guys are basically like a more advanced version of the Elven Longbowmen, which is great. I'm happy to have them. That's exciting. We've also got a High Elf Judicator, who is an infantry unit. Oh, and look at this. Kind of the same style, but has a giant axe. So they have Overwhelm, Evil and Good Slayer. They have high morale. They're tireless. Wow, so no action points are spent on retaliation or attacks of opportunity. Devout Slayer. Very nice. Again, armored. Ooh, this is going to be a lot of fun, I think. Quite excited for this. And then we have our standard High Elf Swordsman and a High Elf Longbowman. So all in all, I mean, I would have appreciated maybe some additional magic damage capability in here, but this is something I can work with. And then, of course, we've got our High Elf Unicorn Rider. And let's see, which hero is offering to join us? Irillis Faithhand, a level 1 Theocrat. I would be very happy to have a Theocrat with me. Let me see our talents here. Ooh, nice. Touch of Faith. That's a good one to have initially. This is a great way to farm experience with the hero, and it provides some pretty good benefit for my units as well. And again, this would help with the magic damage, as now we'd have a way to do some elemental damage. The unit is Devout. And other than that, fairly standard Theocrat. Okay, so we'll accept that. Very nice. All right. Let's take a look at what spells we're starting off with. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, we've got Summon Wild Animal. This is fantastic. So this is going to allow us to start summoning a random wild animal, which will, again, be great for us. We can use it as a scout. We can augment our troops. Use it as kind of cannon fodder if need be. Although, again, I don't want to waste any of these units because they are kind of expensive in the early game for me to create. So in any case, though, they provide me with a lot of flexibility, so I'm going to start working on one right away. However, I should also quickly take a look. What else do we have? Okay, combat spells, we have Savage Rage. Target friendly monster or animal unit gains charge, first strike, +5 physical strength, armor-piercing, overwhelm, and wall crushing. So this would be great if we summon a few animals, and then we can buff them if need be. And then our Theocrat here has Divine Protection, which is extremely powerful. Massive buff to the resistance rating there for 3 turns. Instant Wrath is also fantastic. The enemy takes damage as they attack the unit, and then Slayer's Doubt. So I think we're in really good shape here to start off. So now the question is going to be, where do we want to go? So I see some gold up there. I see a Cartographer's Tent here. So I think what we're going to want to do is probably take one of these swordsmen and use them as a scout. So I'm going to send the swordsman over here. And the reason for that is because I actually want the Tier 2 cavalry to join in with my main stack, I think. So you know what? We might even use both of these swordsmen as scouts now that I think about it. So we'll send one down here. So let's do that. Very nice. Okay, and we have an Elven City that's actually fairly close. So I think we'll probably head over there in the very near future. We might just want to clear out a few of the structures around here before we do that. It would also be good to probably see if we can find if there's a spawning structure near me that's going to cause some problems once turn 5 rolls around and it starts creating units. So I think what I'll do now is I'll send this High Elf Swordsman up this way to grab the gold. And hopefully do a touch of scouting up here as well. Okay, very nice. Now, it'd be great to explore this corner and make sure we're not going to, have a shadow gate or a cave entrance through which units are going to pop out and start causing us grief. So I think what I want to do is actually use this guy as a bit of a scout here, even more than I already have. So we'll head over here. We'll go explore this little island, and then once we've done that, we'll move back and explore over here. Now, in the meantime here, with our main fighting force, what I'm going to do is head over to this mana node. And I will bring my hero. Oh, nice production resources. We definitely want to get our hands on that. Okay, so we've got our 2 heroes together, and then, of course, we've got the rest of our units here. So I think we're in good shape. Oh, and look at this. This is a new unit. A Plane-Touched Goblin. Oh, very cool. Looks like it has Unstable Crystallization. Crystallizes and shatters upon death, dealing 13 physical and 7 shock damage to adjacent units. Yikes. Okay, we have to be very careful because that effectively means that they'll explode when they die. So we're going to want to try to take them out probably with ranged attacks if we can. They have Spirit Protection and Blight Protection, so our Theocrat won't be able to do as much damage. They are of magical origin, and they have Inflict Brain Rot, so we'll want to keep our heroes away from them or they'll siphon off our casting points. So, yeah, really neat. I kind of like those guys. And then we've got a Wisp. Okay, so let's see. We can engage this battle, and we'll use Tauron to engage the battle. And then we will do it manually. So, again, our objective here is just to try to gain some experience with our heroes and our units as well to try to give us a good start here. Again, if we can get our heroes leveled up, we can start capitalizing on some of their abilities, which is exactly what we want. So we want to separate out our units a little bit, though, because we don't actually want them bunched up. That would be not ideal. So what we'll do is we'll send our hero... Actually, we'll leave our hero where our hero is. We'll go over like this. I just want to make sure I'm not in melee range of any of these guys. Yeah, and our Avenger can stay there. I think our Longbowman will actually put kind of like this. Yeah, there. I think that's pretty good. Now, the Wisp is probably going to jump in and attack one of my archers. Yeah, okay, that's kind of expected. And now we should be able to deal a bunch of damage to these Plane-Touched Goblins. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Boom. big damage, and then we should be able to get the kill. Oh, yeah, no problem at all. Excellent. Okay, and then we can try for the kill on the Wisp here with a flanking charge. That would be great, as it would free up the rest of our units here, but let's see. Oh, yeah, we can just blast the Plain Touch Goblin here. I think we'll be fine. And then our Judicator can also step in and assist us. So first things first, though, let's use our Unicorn Rider here. Okay, we didn't get the kill, but that's all right. And then we can get the finish with the Judicator. See, and we did take a bit of damage, but that's okay. And then we should be able to just step up and get the finish here with the Avenger. Perfect. And no damage done to us by those nasty explosions, which is what I was concerned about. Perfect. Okay, got some extra mana. That's good, because we used a little bit to do our spell there. We can grab some more over here if we get the opportunity. There's also a Magma Forge we'll probably want to clear out eventually as well. Now let's see, what's guarding the production resources? A High Elf Judicator, a High Elf Night Guard. Interesting. Okay, this is a pikeman unit of some kind. Armored, pike square, polearm, first strike. Night vision and cave crawling. Interesting. They look kind of sort of gray, almost like their skin tone is very gray. I wonder if they're maybe a little more equipped with, because they have cave crawling and night vision, that would suggest that maybe they're used to being underground. Yeah, interesting. Okay, yeah, and it says here, I understand you rarely see these night guards anywhere. Yeah, so I imagine that these, well, and that makes sense, night guards, so they're more capable of working at night. That makes total sense. And other than that, we have a High Elf Glade Runner. So this is an irregular unit that does have a shield and sprint. That's kind of cool. It's a bit of a spin on, like, kind of the initial unit that the Warlord gets access to, like the Scout that has sprint. Not a bad little unit, though. That's pretty cool. I think I actually have access to them myself here. Yeah, there they are. So we can produce Glade Runners if we really wanted. So let's step over, though. Enough of my yammering. And let's see if we can engage this battle and grab these production resources early. Now, one thing I should probably do, though, before I do that, I'm almost certain that if I were to start building something, it would take it out of the potential rewards that I get from this. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think that's the case. I would really love to get, like, the Builder's Hall or the Laboratory. One of those would be ideal. So maybe I could, start building a shrine, for example, and then I can just cancel it, and, no harm, no foul. So the shrine would be the thing I'm probably the least excited about getting, although maybe the barracks as well. But yeah, let's start working on the shrine, and then we'll do this, and I think that will kind of prevent us from getting the shrine as a reward. Hopefully that doesn't kind of bite me in the butt. Alright, so we will engage the battle here. Again, I think that's how that mechanic works, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Oh yeah, they're going to charge at me here. So we're going to try and do as much damage as we can from range so that we're not... Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll use our Avenger here and just blast. Very nice. And then our hero can also step up. We do have to be kind of careful, though, because this Judicator could do some hefty damage to us if we're not careful. So, do want to make sure that we... Again, I think taking out the Night Guard is wise, given that it's a pikeman unit. So I think that's what we'll do, is we'll take out the Night Guard. Fantastic, okay. And then if we step up here with our Longbowmen... Ooh, you know what? I shouldn't actually do that with a Longbowman, given that they are pretty weak. They really don't have a lot of health. So, I think what I'll actually do then is... yeah, we got line of sight problems. You know what I'll do? Because the unit that's going to come under attack is Tauron. I'm going to just throw the buff on. It's not really going to stop a ton of melee damage, especially given that it's providing me extra resistance rather than defense. But I still think that's going to be useful. And then... Oh, and I didn't realize this. I forgot that this unit can has really good mobility there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to charge in with the Unicorn Rider like this and do some damage. Now, hopefully, this doesn't bite me in the butt and I end up losing the Unicorn Rider, but I think we'll be okay, maybe? Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, great. So our Unicorn Rider did take some damage, but I think it was worth it, as it saved our Longbowman from really getting attacked there. And you can see our hero did quite a bit of damage, or soaked up the damage, I should say. So now what we can do is we can actually use our Avenger here. I'm going to move them around, and all I really want to do is just turn these guys. Yeah, there we go. That'll allow me to step off with Tauron, and now I can blast them with some bow attacks here. Perfect. And then, you know what? I'm going to go around here like this. Turn them one more time. And then use my hero, my Theocrat hero, to get the finish. Excellent. There we go. A little bit of damage on our cavalry, but other than that, pretty good shape. And we're getting more experience with both of our heroes, which is exactly what we need. Oh, fantastic. We could get a Henge or a Builder's Hall. Now, again, I am tempted to go for the Builder's Hall, but the Henge is actually more expensive. And look at this. The city generates an additional 100 population, which, again, as we know, as elves, our growth is slow. So getting the Henge would actually be very useful, I think. As much as I do want the Builder's Hall for the extra production, I almost think the Henge would be better, especially since it's a more expensive structure, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of its cost. I think, again, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think it's more expensive in terms of just the amount of production cost. Yeah, I think we'll do this to offset the growth, and then we'll start working on the Builder's Hall ourselves. So that actually worked out quite well. And there we go. Yeah, now we've got, you can see that an extra 100 population income per turn, which is going to make this grow a lot faster, which is fantastic. So very happy there. Megalith is the other thing we could produce, which we don't really need. So I think we'll just start on the Builder's Hall. And we'll cancel the Shrine, as we don't really need that at the moment. We will need more mana income relatively soon, but I'm hoping that for now we'll be okay with kind of what we've got. There's also a tomb up here, which eventually would be nice to clear out. But for now, I think what we're going to do with this group is regroup. We could even grab this Magma Forge, perhaps, and then I think we should head down and start going to make contact with that other elven. Oh, and look at this. There's a necromantic circle down there. So that's good. If we turn our guys down that direction, I think that would be wise. Maybe, you know what? Again, since we're in the neighborhood, let's clear this Magma Forge out. We can grab the mana and then move down along the mountains here, grab this Magma Forge, clear out this necromantic circle, and then head down to make contact. I think that's going to be the game plan there. Very nice. I should also, and I should have done this at the very beginning, but as I said here, we've got Master the Seals, and it looks like there are 4 seal locations basically on the map, as far as I can tell from this. So just to highlight, when you control a seal of power, you collect its energy. Whoever is the first to collect 24 charges of energy will gain the power of the seals and instantly obliterate their enemies. So this will basically mean that you win. And a seal of power, as we can see here, it's basically like a location on the map that you have to keep your units on, and it will give you an additional charge every turn. But it will occasionally spawn units to defend itself. And if I remember correctly, it spawns some pretty tough customers. I think they're like mostly tier 3 elemental units that are pretty difficult to deal with. So you need to have a fairly substantial army sitting there in the long term if you want to go for that strategy. Now, we also, of course, as always, have to protect both our leader and our throne city. If our leader is killed and we lose our throne city, we lose the game. Allied victory, of course, is enabled. We're just all 3 of us on our own team. And then, of course, we need to defeat all rival empires to win the game. Okay. So we can also select our research choice here moving forward. Now, I think since we're going to be summoning a lot of units, Wildlife Refuge would probably be pretty useful. This is going to reduce our upkeep cost. And for animal and monster units, it's also going to reduce the gold upkeep cost. So I'm quite excited to start getting more animal units and monsters. So I think I'm probably going to do Wildlife Refuge first. Yeah, that's looking like probably the best choice for me right now. So we'll get that one going. This little guy can keep on moving. So yeah, we'll head a little bit further down just to flesh out exactly where that... Yeah, and there... Ooh, and look at that. It's guarded by a Deathbringer. Wow, that's pretty tough for so early in the game to have a tier 3 unit guarding it. That's kind of scary. Oh, and look at this. Skeleton. So that's a new unit. Lightweight Necromancy. Upkeep of this unit is reduced by 75%. Well, that's pretty nice. Has the chance to evolve, and it can become a Bone Collector, a Skeleton Archer, Skeleton Horseman, Skeleton Spearman, or a Skeleton Warrior. Wow. Now, I'm thinking eventually I'm going to need to do another Necromancer playthrough with Chivalrous Intentions, just given the fact that it seems like there is a ton of new undead units as well. So that is pretty cool. Projectile resistance, as you would expect, given that they're skeletons. Wow, pretty cool. I'm really appreciating all the variety in all these new units. Okay, so in any case, though, that's going to be tough to clear out, given that tier 3 unit. We'll have to be very careful. I think that's going to about do it for our first turn, so we're going to end it there. All in all, pretty happy with how things are going so far. Okay, excellent. So, turn is ready now, so we can summon our wild animal if need be. But I think what we'll do is first we will scout a little further. Okay, looks like this is kind of its own little island over here. Just keep going. Again, I really want to make sure that there's nothing of note back here. Okay, so it looks like we do have a lost library, kind of off by itself back here. If I zoom out, I'm not seeing any shadow gates or cave entrances, which are the things I was the most concerned about. Because again, the last thing I'd want is a surprise pop-up, unit or one of my opponents to, surprise me. Looks like there's a treasure chest there, so eventually when we can go in the water, that would be good to go and get. Again, this guy down here, we probably want to bring him up to kind of perhaps do a little bit of looking over here. So we'll go like this. Just start... Ooh, and look at that. We can grab some mana with him while we're in the neighborhood. Oh, and this would be ideal. We can grab this watchtower to improve our vision range, which will give us kind of an eagle-eye view of what's going on around us. Yeah, and then there's lots to clear out down here. This is a... I'm quite excited about this, where we are here. We'll head down just a little further. Okay. Yeah, and we don't have to cut through the mountains here if we don't want to. We can loop around this way. So whichever way kind of ends up being more efficient, we can do. And then, as I said, we can summon a wild animal here, which I think we will do next to our heroes. And let's see what we get. Oh, fantastic. Look at this. We got a canyon crawler. Some kind of spider here. And I like these spiders because they can evolve. But this is a new type of spider that I'm not familiar with. So let's take a look here. So, of course, it's summoned. It's got fire protection and frost weakness. Okay. It can evolve into an Elder Canyon Crawler. It's got cave crawling, improved wall climbing, night vision. I'm noticing it doesn't have a webbing ability, but it seems like the trade-off is that it has mountain concealment and reinforced. Wow. Reinforced units gain an additional +4 defense against ranged attacks. That's pretty cool. I like the design of these guys. They're really cool. They're like a golden spider, like a golden armored spider. Oh, I'm really excited. I like these. This is great. Yeah, I want this spider unit in with my main stack so that it can start basically leveling up, and maybe we can evolve it fairly soon. So, yeah, let's get it into the battle here if we can. Ooh, and look at this. We've got another structure over here as well. A water node we could try to clear, and a farm. Again, we don't want to go too far this way because I do want to loop down here. Our priority is to get rid of this necromantic circle and to make contact with the elven city down here. So we might just grab this mana node, or excuse me, magma forge for now. But I have to kind of decide how best to do that. All right. So yeah, we want our spider involved. Do we have the ability to move through the mountains easily? No. That's kind of surprising given that we have mountain concealment, but we don't have, like, mountain movement. That's okay. Maybe what we'll do is we'll move our other hero just out of the stack so we can bring our spider in. then we can engage the battle with Tauron. Okay, and they're going to try to run. But I think I'll do the battle because I really do want the experience at this point. So I'm going to actually be more aggressive here and try to do the battle. Again, I do have to be careful because we do have choking fumes enacted. So just have to watch out for that debuff. So one thing I want to do is move my hero over. It looks like they're going to come to me, which is fantastic. That's going to make my life a little bit easier. So let's just kind of position ourselves here. We're going to be dealing with Prospector. Engineer, we just have to watch out for the Blunderbuss and the ability to blind with a flashbang. The Sun Guard's going to be a tough customer, but I think with all of our ranged strength, we'll be able to whittle him down before he causes us any major problems. We'll keep our Unicorn Rider in reserve, just given the amount of damage he's taken, sort of. Yeah, there, that's pretty good. All right, perfect. Okay, yeah, looks like we can probably start lighting up the Sun Guard if we really wanted, but I'm going to back up one more and let them come just a touch closer. Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be a good move. So then what I'm going to do is, first of all, I want to bring my hero over, and I want to Touch of Faith the Judicator. There we go. And then I'm going to let them move in. We're going to take a ranged attack, I'm sure, from the... Oh, okay. I thought these guys were going to get in there and throw some rocks at us, but probably, I guess not. Okay, so now we can blast the heck out of them with range damage here, so let's do that. Very good. And then same thing here. Perfect. And then we can actually get the kill outright with our Theocrat here, so let's do that. Perfect. That was actually fantastic. That went very, very well. So now we do have to be a little bit cautious because I don't think the Blunderbuss is going to be able to really do too much to us. I mean, if he's standing here, yeah, that's not going to hit us, so we're actually fine. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep my units exactly where they are and let them come to us. Okay, so we did get blinded. Ooh, and our unit took a fair bit of damage, so that's kind of unfortunate, but... Oh, yeah, look at this. Dwarf Slayer. Yeah, let's just do that and get that out of the way. Perfect. Yikes. Adjudicator can step up. All right, so we can blast the Engineers with some big damage here. Fantastic. And then, you know what? Let's get the kill with our Theocrat. Perfect, and a level up for our Theocrat. Exactly what we need is to start getting our heroes leveled up as quickly as possible. So we can upgrade our hero. All right, so for our first level up here, I think I'm going to take Bestow Iron Heart, as that gives us the ability to heal our stack. So, yeah, that's going to be the choice there. So we'll take that. Oh, that's excellent. Early game now, it's so good to have that healing capacity. And you know what? We're already, like, right here. We might as well do this battle for the water node. I mean, we're literally right there. So we can just step over one. And then we can move everybody over. And now the question is, do we want to keep the longbowmen there, or do we maybe want to start forming kind of a, you know, a second stack for our Theocrat to eventually lead? I think maybe what we'll do is we'll use the longbowman here to grab the mana. And then we can maybe head back kind of towards our throne. Eventually what I'll do is I'm going to create a second stack for my Theocrat. Not just yet. I want to kind of keep building, but that's the eventual plan. So now let's... Hang on, let's take a look. It's a water node. Okay. Do have to be a little careful. Our Unicorn Rider is beat up. But again, we can now heal him at least a little bit. Oh, and look at this. Okay, another opportunity here to do... No Mercy if we want to, and I'm going to choose that. Because, again, I want the experience. You have to watch out. Great Healing Showers is going to be in effect. We just have to make sure we keep an eye on the health of the enemy units, because it'll get rejuvenated, potentially. couple of things we have to be careful of here. So first off, the baby reed serpent does poison spit, which does blight damage, which we are susceptible to as elves. Second thing we have to watch out for is the mobility potential there of the frost wyvern. So just a couple of things to watch for. So I think what I'm going to do is the Avenger is going to retreat back just so it's out of range of the wyvern. The Judicator, on the other hand, I kind of want to just get real aggressive. I think what I'll do, though, is I'll go like this. We're going to do a Bestow Iron Heart on the Unicorn Rider to get it back to almost full health. And then we'll camp out like that. Canyon Crawler, happy kind of with where it is. Tauron, we're going to retreat back like this. Yeah, I like this so far. I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's see what happens here. Ouch, there's that poison spit. Yeah, we took some damage. That's all right, though. We can rally around our Judicator here. We should be able to put the hurt on them pretty good. So what I'm going to do is... Let's see. I think I'm going to step over like this. Blast the heck out of this wyvern. Perfect. And then I could just get the kill outright with the Judicator here, which I think would be just fine. The only thing I have to watch out for is then the Judicators are going to get attacked by the Dire Penguin and potentially also by the Reed Serpent. However, I think I'll be able to counterattack them okay. So yeah, let's do this. Excellent. Nice level up there, too. That's good. Ooh, and then, yeah, we can start blasting the Dire Penguin for some big damage. Let's do that. Very good. Now, we want to see if we can get rid of this Reed Serpent here, probably. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Unicorn Rider to jump in behind. Do a nice big flanking shot there. Oh, and then look at that. We can almost get the kill. Not quite, but very close. Yeah, I think we can risk that. There we go. The one thing we have to watch out for is the hero getting flanked and then kind of getting combo attacked, but I think we'll be fine. Oh, and there's that healing. Dang it. Not that that's going to make a huge difference, but yeah, and there. I put the Canyon Crawlers there just to protect the hero's flank a little bit. That ended up being a good choice, I think. One thing I would like to do is probably try and get a kill with the hero if I can, but I don't want to risk the hero taking more damage. So I think what I will do is I will step up here, and then... Oh, and I wouldn't mind getting experience with Canyon Crawler as well, but I think Tauron is pretty close. Yeah, he's about to level up. You know what? Even if he just does some damage here, I think he'll level. Yeah, and there it is. Perfect. Okay, and that frees up our Theocrat to do this. And then our Spider can get the kill here. Oh, and what I should have actually probably done is tried to turn this Dire Penguin around. Because if I get a low roll, I won't get the kill, and I'll take extra damage. Oh, well, let's just do it. Yeah, that's fine. Excellent. So now we have a level up with Tauron here. More mana, that's good. Yeah, we've got plenty of mana now. So even if we're running a mana deficit for a little while, we'll be just fine. So we can upgrade Tauron. We've got some options here. We can do natural immunity for the blight resistance, nature's resistance for the resistance upgrade, Spirit of the Land for spirit protection, or Warm at Night for the frost protection. Since we are high elves, I'm going to take natural immunity for the blight resistance to offset our innate weakness. I think that's probably the wise choice there. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, and look at this, another spawner. You know what? Since we're in the neighborhood, we might as well go and get rid of it. I know I keep saying we should turn around, but now that I know this is here, we pretty much have to go and get rid of it. Because that's too dangerous to be left by itself. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clear out this farm, and then we'll head over there and deal with that. We might even be able to loop around this way, depending on what's over here. We might be able to go through this path and maybe still get to this elven city and then move over and get rid of the spawner in that kind of order. But we'll have to see. It'll depend on what the terrain over here looks like. In any case, let's engage this battle. Okay, and we have a chance to again, choose what we want to do. We're going to continue with No Mercy because we really do want to gain the experience. So we've got a Fell Horse, and then it looks like we've got a Wild Horse, which I believe is another one of the new units from Chivalrous Intentions. You can see here, dedicated to good. Other than that, fairly standard, just an animal that has charge and a melee attack. Okay. No Mercy it is, though. All right, so they're not going to come to us, which is fine by me. That just means I'm going to have to encourage them slightly. So what I can do, let's see, who needs the help the most? The Adjudicator could use some assistance here. So let's throw the buff on the Adjudicator. And then we'll start moving the rest of our troops up. Actually, you know what? We'll just let the turn pass here. I'm hopeful that I can have one unit draw most of the aggro here. So the Adjudicator is going to probably be the one to take that. Although, I think this unit does fire damage, if I'm not mistaken. And the Canyon Crawler has fire protection. So you know what I'm going to do, actually, is step back. Go like that. And then see if this horse will step out and attack me. And I'm going to buff the Canyon Crawler just so it's a little bit more prepared. Now let's see. Will they come to me? They will not. Okay. So we're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive here. We will step up slightly. We'll even put our Unicorn Rider over there. Maybe kind of a little bit more protection. Okay, there we go. Going after the Unicorn Rider. Ooh, our Spider took some major damage. Thankfully did get a level up. But did tank most of it, so we're in good shape there. We can kill the Wild Horse here without too much difficulty, so let's do that. Excellent. And then our Druid can basically blast here. No problem at all. Canyon Crawler, again, kind of beat up, but did its job. Then our Theocrat can use some Spirit Bolts to turn the Wild Horse around. I think we'll actually step closer and just try to really do some hefty damage. There we go. And then, you know what? Our Unicorn Rider could get the kill. Yeah, that's fine by me. Perfect. Fantastic. So there's a nice level up for the Canyon Crawler. Our High Elf Avenger is getting pretty good experience. Let's take a look at what we're getting. So far it's been just range strength and hit points, but then we did get Monster Slayer at Veteran, which is pretty cool. So we're now Veteran, which means, as you can see there, we have Monster Slayer. So these units are really adept at killing a lot of different things. And then if we look here, Warrior's Honor and Inflict Crippling Wounds are both available at Elite level, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I quite like these Avengers. And our Canyon Crawler here, what do we get? At Elite level, we do get Vigilant, although, again, we will evolve as well. So, that'll be pretty cool. How about our Judicator? What are we getting as we level up? Inflict Bleeding Wounds at Veteran, and then Strong Will at Elite. Now, that's a good upgrade. Mind Control Immunity plus Spirit Protection. That works pretty well. At least I think Strong Will gives you Spirit Protection, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right, excellent. Oh, and look at this. We have the option to recruit a Mandrill and some gold. So a Mandrill, I guess, is kind of like a slightly different version of the Dread Monkey. You know what? I'm going to take this just so I get to kind of see this other unit. Yeah, so it's like a baboon here. You can see it has Sprint. It has Pass Wall. Forest Concealment. Other than that, a fairly standard, just kind of animal unit with Sprint. All right, well, hey, I mean, if nothing else, I can use it as a scout or, you know, other creative purposes, I'm sure. And you know what, on that note, let's head up here and grab these mana crystals. Oh, and look at this. Might be a good spot for a city up here. We've got a lost library, the tomb, the farm. I don't think this city will spread enough to encompass all of that, so might be a good spot to put a city up here. Plus, look at this, a cave entrance, so I'm glad we know that that's there now. Again, that could become problematic for us later. I think we'll send the monkey down there just to go and check basically what's down there. That way at least we won't be surprised, hopefully, or caught off guard. Okay. There we go. We're going to move over. And yeah, we're going to go and take this on and then see where this goes as we get closer. This is guarded by a human freelancer, 2 human freelancers. So these are a pikeman unit that has first strike, polearm, pike square. Other than that, fairly standard pikeman. Okay. And then, yeah, we've got this guy down here. We're going to start summoning another wild animal just because we can. We have plenty of mana, so why not? Even if we're running a deficit, like I said, that's okay for a while. And then we will end our turn there as we've moved everybody else. Perfect. All right. So we've pretty much explored what we need to up here, I think. So now we'll start heading back this way. Maybe I should have actually gone down there and explored that little bit, but that's all right. Meanwhile, with this guy, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll actually head over here and just see what we can see. Okay, so there's lots of mountain that we're going to have to kind of deal with in here, so fortunately my plan to go around this way may not be quite as optimal as I was hoping. But that's all right. We'll figure out kind of what the best way to move through there is, but in the meantime, we do have to clear this out because it is going to cause me some problems. Ooh, and look at this, a Forbidden Sanctum. Again, might be a good spot for a city somewhere up here. I just have to kind of figure out where. All right. I think we will probably try to loop around here, though, because it does look like we can at least, even if we have to cross some of the mountains, I still think that would be pretty good. So we'll head down and engage this battle. Okay. So first things first, let's heal up our Canyon Crawler. This is actually going to be great because our Canyon Crawler is resistant to range damage due to being reinforced. We also have our Unicorn Rider who can phase, which is going to help us out. Let's blast this Freelancer for some damage because we can. Why not? And then, you know what, we'll step up like this. Start lighting up that Scoundrel ever so slightly. And then, yeah, our Canyon Crawler can chill out. Unicorn Rider can chill. Everybody else can just kind of hang out. Okay, we took some damage. We are crippled now, unfortunately, so that's Tauron is crippled. But we can just keep shooting them for more and more damage, which is good for us. We'll do a Touch of Faith on the Canyon Crawler and then send him in, I think. Freelancer here we can blast. More damage. Again, we do have that line of sight penalty, but still doing pretty hefty damage, as you can see there. And then what I'm going to do is step in and attack the obstacle like this. Okay. So, we will just keep blasting. Very nice. And then our Theocrat can actually step up and help us out by getting the kill here. Perfect. We can get the kill on this one, no problem at all. Yeah, now we're in good shape. They're going to have to come out to fight us. Our spiders did a good job of soaking up the damage. And we should be able to just get a bit of a double team kill here. Although I think if we get the kill, yeah, so our Theocrat already leveled up. So let's try and get the kill with our Druid here if we can. Nice. Okay, we didn't get the kill, but we did get the level up, which is... that's totally fine by me. How close is our Avenger to leveling up? Getting there. Maybe we'll just get some more experience with our Theocrat since we can. Perfect. I didn't want to attack with the spiders because they would have taken more damage, and I didn't want that, so. A Dwarf Blunderbussman. Interesting. It's an irregular unit that has the ability to fire a blunderbuss shot. Jack's Gift for some extra hit points. This might be good on my heroes just to give them a little bit more durability. So the question is, which hero would benefit more? Maybe the Theocrat. Although, again, you know what? I think I'm going to give it to Tauron just because, again, we really don't want to lose our leader, obviously. So that also does make him actually quite tanky. Now, here we go. Here's the big choice. Do we want Nourishing Meal at this stage, or do we want Befriend Animal? I think since we have our Theocrat that can heal, I'm going to wait to get Nourishing Meal. Normally, I would grab this one right away, but I do want Befriend Animal so I can start recruiting animal units. So I'm going to take that, and then I'll have to wait one turn to get Nourishing Meal. So let's take Befriend Animal. And then I think I'm also going to take Nature's Resistance so our units have more resistance as well. Excellent. Yeah, that's great. Now our Theocrat, on the other hand, I have to start thinking about eventually our Theocrat's going to be leading stack of his own. So let's do maybe Aura of Resistance, I think would be a good one. Actually, no, you know what? Sacred Arms. Give us some extra spirit damage. Let's do that. And again, this is in anticipation for our Theocrat leading a separate stack. So here's our Blunderbussman. Oh, pretty cool. Look at there. They got the Blunderbuss with the kind of funny helmets there. I quite like that. So yeah, basically they have a chance to fire a Blunderbuss, kind of like an engineer in a way, but they're an armored unit that's considered an irregular. Yeah, they'll be useful. So yeah, very rapidly we are acquiring a fairly decent smattering of other units here. Oh, and look at this. There's already a Node Serpent guarding this. Wow. Ooh, look at this. A Kobold Footpad. Interesting. Okay. A bit of a spin on the Kobold unit here that has a shield. Okay. So as I said here, let's bring this unit around. And then we can, you know, clear out a few of these structures on our way down. Oh, and it looks like that might be that's a seal right there. So we've already found where one of the seal locations is. We're probably not strong enough at this point to really worry about it, but moving forward, that's going to be something we can definitely try to take advantage of, I think. Okay, and we'll use this guy as a scout for now, but we will probably start creating an army very shortly here for our Theocrat to lead, because we've got this unit here, we've got the swordsman, we've got the archer, and we've got the other swordsman over here. Speaking of which, our archer can move. So let's just head over here real fast. Yeah, there we go. I just wanted to see what we could see. So scrolls of knowledge over here that would be worth eventually getting our hands on. And then, of course, we want to clear out this mana node so that we have more mana capability for our throne city. And then we'll move back to the throne there. Okay, now this little guy, we can send him underground. Excuse me. And again, we do want to see what's under here, so let's do it. Okay, so can't see anything immediately, but let's kind of step out just a little bit and see if we're getting our eyes on anything of note here. The thing I'm the most concerned about, of course, is like spawners or an enemy opponent or something like that. So yeah, we'll just kind of leave him down there and do a little more scouting as we get the chance. So we'll let the turn flip over here, but yeah, we're still working on the Builder's Hall. So yeah, the turn's going to flip. We're making extremely good progress so far. I'm very happy with how this is going. So then what we'll do is we'll keep the battles going, I think, with our main stack here. Forbidden Sanctum is way above our pay grade at the moment. That's going to be too much for us. But we can keep clearing out these other structures. So let's do the Great Farm, the Gold Mine, maybe this mana node down here. And then, well, what is this? Look at this, a Frost Spinner. This kind of caught my eye. It's a unique spider variant again. Oh, and this one has Freezing Touch. That's pretty cool. And again, it can evolve into a Winter Weaver. I like this. Inflict Frostbite. Blight Protection, Frost Protection. Wow, that's pretty... I really like all the different spider variants. That's really cool. It provides just that much more kind of variety, you know, in the mix. So, all right, let's get to it here. We will battle... We'll do this battle here with our Theocrat, engaging it, I guess. Now, it looks like we've got, a Snapper Crab. Let's see. Ooh, what an ugly little guy. Projectile resistance, so we're going to have to make sure we're aware of that. Can evolve into a Lurid Crab, which is a tier 2 unit. It's considered a sea creature. Okay. So, does have fire weakness. Not that we really have much in the way of fire damage, but... Alright. Alright, so we will move our Canyon Crawler up, because again, it's kind of a pretty good unit to draw some aggression, I think. Throw on a buff there. Our Judicator as well has quite a decent amount of health, so that would be a good one to, again, draw some aggro, as it were. Unicorn Rider's going to need to stay back because we've got pikemen who are going to be dangerous for us. Now, we do have the option here. We could try and befriend Snapper Crab, I think, because it's considered, it's considered an animal, so we might as well try and get one of them, if at all possible. Not a huge deal if we can't, but, I mean, why not? We've got the ability, we might as well start trying to use it. Okay. Nice, okay, they're going to move up. That's actually what I was hoping for. Makes my life easier, because now I can just start attacking the Sun Guard, who's the most dangerous opponent. Oh yeah, big damage there, as you see. And then, between our other ranged units here, I think we'll be able to just get the kill, no problem. Perfect, and then... Oh yeah, no problem at all. Excellent. Our Judicator here can protect our units a little bit, and then our Canyon Crawler should be able to provide the other protection over here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, no problem at all. We managed to deal with that. So now, let's see, we have a 70% chance to befriend the crab, so let's try it. Perfect. All right, we made ourselves a new friend. Excellent. And now we can basically just try to kill this snapper here. So let's see, maybe we can... Oh yeah, here, we'll do a little bit of damage just to soften him up. Nice, level up. And then we'll try and get the kill here with our Theocrat. No problem. Yeah, wonderful. There we go. We got ourselves a new little crab friend. We do have to be careful because we are gaining so many units that we are starting to kind of reduce our gold income. But we're about to have the upgrade that I'm really glad I started to research. Oh, and a tiger. You know what? Sure, let's take that as well. We're basically getting an animal army here, which is really good. And again, I'm glad I grabbed this because it's going to reduce the upkeep cost of my summoned units, but also my animal and monster units, which, I mean, again, they're lower tier right now, so it's not like I'm saving a ton of gold, but every little bit's going to help. And you can see I'm almost running a negative, which I do not want. So we're going to need to increase our gold income here very soon. So I'm thinking we want to try and get control of this city. That's definitely going to be on the agenda. And once it grows, it'll encompass these gold mines, which would be really good for us. We also probably eventually want to throw a city down somewhere around here because there's a lot of good stuff. So, all right, you know what? I think this is a good place to end the episode. We're in the middle of the turn. We've still got some battling left to do, but I think this is a great place to end it. So let's just zoom out and take a look. So here you can see Nundioth. I think we've done a pretty decent job of getting an idea of what's around us. Still a little bit more scouting to do maybe up here just to see what's in the mist. As you can see, it's still hidden. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this start, and I'm really looking forward to continuing in this series. So we're going to save this one. We are going to call it High Elf Druid. And we're going to call this one number 1. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.